All right, so here we are up on the summit of Peak Mountain here in Granby, Connecticut. This is a smaller mountain, about 700 feet or so, towards the border of Massachusetts, almost. I think it's a little bit ways farther up, but basically this is part of the Metacomet Ridge. This is also called Copper Mountain, which I kind of like that name better, but this is part of the Metacomet Ridge, which you can see extends all the way down to New Haven from here, about New Haven area towards the shore of Connecticut. And out that way you can see Hatchet Hill, Talcott Mountain, and Penwood. Out there you can see the tower for Talcott Mountain. Out that way you can see the Barn Door Hills. You can kind of make them out there, and West Mountain over there, and West Ledge. But basically the Metacomet Ridge is basically defined by these traprock formations that were made out of lava, molten lava, about 150 million years ago. And you can see the rock here. It's very distinct, and every peak along the ridge that you hike has this very same geology. You go up to Hatchet Hill there, Penwood, and Talcott, and you'll see the same type of cliffs here. They're not very big. None of them are very big. They barely get over 1,000 feet, at least in Connecticut, and but they offer these terrific views because of the cliffs that they created in their formation, and really great hiking. The Metacomet Trail goes along the bulk of the ridge as well. Not everything, but this is the Metacomet Trail right here. I've been trying over the past year or so to sort of compile all of the distinct peaks along the ridge, so at least you can go out and do some peak bagging and kind of get a sense of the ridge and really experience it without having to do, you know, the entire trail, which is over 50 miles. You know, you can do it in piecemeal. But this is a great one here. Pretty easy to get up here, and this is sort of the best view you get. We hiked farther up, which I think is the actual high point of this mountain, farther up. And there are some views up there, but this is really the best one. So if you're just looking to come out and hike to a nice place, this is where you can kind of get away with stopping here. You know, so the ridges, I like these mountains because they're really hidden in plain sight. They're right in the middle of you know, civilization in Connecticut. Go right down 91 basically through Hartford and Berlin and all the way down to the shore. You know, and but I've still been doing a lot more research about what every peak that is part of it, you know, very distinct ones, you know, and I keep coming up with more. So this is a cool one. I've been wanting to hike for a while. It's great to be back on the Metacomet Ridge again and to really experience it. I get sort of a nostalgic feeling when I'm up on mountains like this. Just the smell of the leaves and the pines and the rocks and everything. I grew up in Simsbury, which is out that way, and Talcott Mountain was one of the mountains I grew up hiking as a kid in the Boy Scouts and stuff. And you know, just the smells out here on the ridge in local areas of Connecticut like this really bring me back to being a kid and playing outside and you know, being unplugged as a 90s kid and everything. And I don't want to get too preachy or anything about, you know, kids not playing outside or anything like that, but for me it just takes me back into being a kid again and sort of getting away from all the drama and the problems of life. Whatever I got going on, I can escape out here and sort of get away and just be somewhere else, and you know, see that there's other places in the world around me, things that are happening in beautiful places, you know, things that I never really thought to experience before. You know, that's what the mountains kind of do for me. And doing these hikes, you know, getting to, you know, the summit, I realized that the summit's usually, it's pretty much almost always, you know, the halfway point is the reward up here, and then you have to take into account hiking back. And you know, 90% of the hike is the work, and that's sort of what life is. Life is 90% work, and the reward that you get from things, you know, the happy moments and the wealth that you create and all that stuff, you know, the families you build, the relationships, they're their work. And, you know, the rewards a lot of times can be, you know, the shortest part, but, you know, and it really is a lesson that life is not necessarily about just being happy. It's about finding a purpose and finding, you know, usefulness in life, in the world around you. And, you know, the mountains are a great metaphor for that. You know, that purpose is to get to the top here, to get to, you know, wherever it is you're trying to go to. Maybe not even mountains. Maybe you're just hiking around lakes or a lake or something, you know. So I think that's it for me. Again, if you're looking for an exceptional, you know, pretty moderate to easy to moderate hike, in Connecticut around, you know, Simsbury, Granby area, check this one out.